there, it's Cindy Fodor with Stamp the Love, and it is Make It Monday. And I have the projects for my classes this month to show you. And I'm going to try to be really quick. So I'm going to skip a few steps of like layering some cardstock and things like that, so that this won't take as long, but you can still see the great ideas, and I'll show you anything difficult that you might need to know. So thanks for joining me. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. A comment is great. Love to know that you're here. This is streaming through my one stream tonight because I'll be at class. So, but I still read all of your comments and love to see those. So pop on and make a comment, ask a question. I will answer. I will message you back. So I do want to tell you, my catalogs are supposed to be here today. I'm praying they get here before I have to leave for class. I placed my pre-order at I got on at 2:02 a.m., but I didn't pay the extra $22 to expedite it. So my orders haven't even shipped yet. This was on April 4th, and it is now the 10th. I didn't check this morning, but yeah, they hadn't shipped yet. So I'm really, really frustrated. But what happens when you expedite it, your order goes ahead of everybody else's. So I guess everybody else expedited because I was in there like really, really early. But anyways, my catalogs did ship. Fortunately, I think they shipped from another facility. So I do want to at least share the one that I got in the mail with you. It is so pretty. It's so different. And I'm glad it's different. It's sort of, I don't know, chalky. The colors are chalky. But that way at least it shows up different than the last two catalogs that looked so similar. So, but the inside is just totally scrumptious, which I'm not allowed to show you yet. But hopefully, I will get them in the mail as soon as they get here. Ladies that are coming to classes this week, I'm praying that they're here at least they'll be here for tomorrow, I'm sure, but hopefully for tonight's class. So anyways, I want to get those in your hands because I know that you're all dying to see. Now, I can show you, I'm going to show you a printout. I was able to print out the hex colors for the new, it's a color code so that I can use the colors online. And I just want to show you a little picture. It's just printed out, so it's not fabulous, but of what all the colors look like together. And you'll agree that they are wonderful, even though there's some colors that were really sad are going. And I'm going to be using some of those in class this week. Some of them aren't even available. Like as I promise you, like get any colors that you want ahead of time, because as soon as they go, as soon as they list that they're retiring, they sell out. Because everybody wants to make sure they have their favorite colors. So some of you did that, and I'm very grateful that you grabbed the things that you wanted. All right, so let's get started. I don't want this to take you a long time tonight or today, whenever you're watching it. And of course, you'll be able to fast forward it, pause it, whatever, so that you can do your project. So, all right, let's flip over to the other camera, and here's this printout. Like I said, it's just a printout. Like I printed it with my computer, so it's not fabulous, but you can see the new in colors there that I did post before. In a more online, you can see it better, but they're really moody mauve, sort of, I think, gives a definition for those colors. They're just very moody colors and really pretty. But everything that they've done with our color families really says to me that they're going to work nicely together. So I'm very excited, even though I'm sad that some things are going away. And but here's the thing: if you have the colors already, you can use them. You don't have to say goodbye to them. Okay, so hopefully you bought up the colors that you love, so you don't have to say goodbye. All right, so here's our first card. Let's get going. I'm going to do this masculine card, and I'm not going to remember what things are staying in and what aren't. So I'll do my best. I think this set is staying, and I haven't used it. I've been waiting to use it to get past all of the new stuff that I wanted to use, and I've been wanting to use this for a while. So I am adding some trees from Mountain Air, which is retiring. I had to pull that out of my retired box to grab the trees. So I have both trees here. I'm just going to ink one at a time. I'm going to stamp one on this side. And this color is Very Vanilla. Using Very Vanilla Sahara Sand, which is being discontinued. And I'm very sad about that. It's a great basic color. Let's see, I'm finished with the green, so let's get rid of that so I don't make a mess. Grab Early Espresso. Let's get our bear stamped, and he gets, that's all I'm going to do on there for now. I'm going to put my bear on here. Hopefully I have this inked good enough. This is a distinctive stamp, and it is so beautiful. And I think I am allowed to tell you that my stamp set, my $1 Million stamp set, which is coming out in 2024 in the holiday catalog, is going to be a similar design to this style, not a design, but the style. I'm going to leave that. Let's see. I want to go ahead. I have a circle from our Great Shapes, something shapes dies. I'm going to stamp To a Great Guy. That is staying, fortunately. And then two more things. Let me grab Crumb Cake. And we're just going to add some ground for him to walk on, which I think is, I'm really happy they added this because, let me see if I'm doing this the right direction. I think it helps to ground him. There, I got an edge. I need to remember to trim that off. Okay. So now he's not just standing in midair, right? Okay, one more thing. I want to put the Sending Birthday Wishes. This is all from this set except for the trees. We're going to go back here and add this to this part. And you know what? I'm going to turn upside down because I need to see where I'm at. And I can't because it's so far away. There we go. All right, done with that. Let's go ahead and layer this. I have some of the cards started. So I have Sahara Sand Base, Early Espresso, a piece of paper from He's the Man, the designer paper. And I'm just going to be careful because this probably isn't dry yet. So I'm going to just flip that over and add my adhesive. And that's just going to pop here against this designer paper. Okay, one more thing. Let's put him on a layer. I will tell you, I'm using the piercing mat because I'm stamping with photopolymer, but I will tell you it does not do great to try to get your adhesive on. So I usually take it off of here to get my adhesive on because I need to have firm pressure for that. And we're going to pop this guy right in here. I see I didn't get my tree down there quite far enough, but oh well, on the next one, right? I didn't really want to see that stem of the tree or the trunk of the tree. Okay, last but not least, we're going to add some dimensionals to the back of our To a Great Guy. No ribbons on this card. Can you believe it? I know, masculine and simple, and yeah. All right, let's cover that boo-boo there. Yay, all done. How quick was that, right? Okay, on to the next one. Okay, this next one, we're using hand-penned petals, which I believe is retiring. And I haven't used it enough, but I have enjoyed it. I'm going to make this new fun fold card that really makes a pop. So it sits like this. It's just so pretty. I can't remember who I got this idea from, but anyways, we are using the beautiful Irresistible paper, which is available online. It's not in a catalog, but I think it's still available while supplies last. And it's just so gorgeous. You'll see different styles because I'm using 2 packs of paper and I'm using a lot of the different colors. So everybody will get something different. So I'm using this paper for this card. And I just want you to know that I took a 6x6 piece. I cut 3/4 of an inch off of the one side. I cut an inch off of each side, which I think I just did the wrong. Anyways, probably goes this way, but an inch off of each side. So I have a 4 by 5 1/4 and 1 inch by 5 1/4 pieces left of that. So let me just scoot that over here, and let me just go ahead and show you how I did the card base. It actually takes a whole sheet of cardstock, and I go ahead and score the whole thing. I bent that paper at one time, and here's my score marks for you. So I'm scoring on the 8.5 inch side. I'm going to score at 4, at 5.5, at 6 3/4, and then 7.5. This way both pieces are going to be scored, and then all I have to do is make one cut and the card is ready. And my trimmer is very accurate. If I learn to put, I just make the line disappear, and it's such a perfect cut. Look at that, exactly the same, which is what you want for this card. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put that aside. Let's do the stamping. I am going to grab my Stamparatus, and I sort of have it set up. So what I did was I stamped the image here. I actually placed the stamp on my paper. I inked it, stamped it, took this and cut it out, and now I have a piece that's perfectly lined up. It just feels like I have a little much in here. I think I stuck some extra papers in there. Okay, so now I can just sit my image or my die cut piece in here. And wow, it's like not lining up at all, which is very strange. Okay, there we go. I'm like, okay, this is a die. It does not bend. It cannot move. I do want to grab a magnet here just to hold this in place. Okay, I am using Memento for this. And let's get that stamped. See how well I have it lined up. Okay, I think that looks good. Now, I could have set the rest of the pieces up for the coloring. This is actually, you don't have to color this because it's a two-step stamp. So I want to leave that in there. So I just have my colors here, my stamps ready to stamp, and we're just going to line them up. They don't, most of them don't line up perfectly, so you don't have to really worry where they're going to go. This one I sort of found like that. And if you want a little more color, you can just sort of stamp around, add. If you want it to fill a little bit more, you can stamp it a couple times, okay? Be a little brighter. And then the leaves, they're very tiny, but they add a pop of color. And I'm just going to stamp all of the leaves here. And then there's this little leaf. I'm going to pop him here. And I'm also going to just stamp that right here, the little calyx there, just to make that green. So they're just so simple. It's easy, you know, you don't have to be particular about this. Let me just close these so I don't make a mess. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get this put together. So looks like I got some ink on there, but that will be one we'll put behind. So here's how it goes. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and grab ones I already have done. This has score lines going the wrong way. Ignore that. This was my practice one. So you're gonna fold them in like this. Fold it in like this, just Mountain Valley, Mountain Valley. And then you just overlap the 1 4-inch over top of the other 4-inch, like so. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this one. You pick the one that you like the best to go on top. However, it's going to get covered anyways with the designer paper. And then my piece of designer paper will go in here. And like so. And then just 2 more pieces for the designer paper. I did put a little more glue on that because it's going to be holding quite a bit. And, you know, I really wanted to make these 5.5 inches. So don't do what I do. Do what I say. And I cut everything for class. So they're going to be just a little short. You know, it's terrible when after you design something and then you go back to it, but I think it'll be okay. Whoops, that's a little tight in there. I might have to trim that just a hair. Do you see how that's pushing its way out? So I'm just gonna flip this in here and see if I can trim it off without sticking to everything. You could cut this down to 3 3/4 if you wanted to. There we go. Now we can close it. All right, so next I have, you're going to have trouble seeing this, but it's a piece of window sheet, and it's going to go right across here. And I'm going to use glue dots for that because adhesive is it's going to be tough to get the adhesive to stick to it, but glue dots stick very well. There's one. I want them in a particular place. There's 2. I'm going to hold this shut with 5 hands. And then just put that in place. Okay, there we go. So that creates what you saw. Next I have the thanks from Amazing Thanks, and this is going out. I did put our adhesive sheets behind it before I cut it out. And I did cut it with our shimmer glimmer paper. Oh shoot, I can't remember. I think it is staying. It's returning in the new catalog, at least in some form, some colors and stuff. It's really a nice paper. It just gives you a little shimmer, but it's not like glitter everywhere. You know, some people don't like that. I do, but some people don't like that. Okay, so I'm going to put this thanks right on my window sheet. And I'm keeping it to the side just a little bit because I'm going to put my flower over here. Okay? All right, well, let's go ahead and put this in place. I can't find what I did with my card. There we go. I did want to pop this behind here, which I think I can still do. Now this is only 4 inches wide, so I can go over the edge a little bit and it will still fit in my envelope. So I'm going to just pop it right there, and I'm going to just leave it in place and put a little glue where I want it to stay. And that way I'm not putting too much adhesive on and getting it over where it's not glued to something. That is just a little too far over the edge. I need to pull that in just a tad. Okay, and then last but not least, we're adding a bow with this satin edged ribbon, which I thought it said it was being discontinued, but it is in the new catalog, I'm pretty sure. Unless I looked at it wrong, but it's so pretty. So I'm hoping I have enough of this. Okay, that's not the best. I don't want to waste this, so let me try again. I didn't need that much tail in the end. Okay, there we go. Another glue dot, and we are finished. Oh, and then on the back you can write on the back of it. And this one's going to cover the glue dot over here. This one's pretty much unseen because of the thanks that's on this side. But anyways, there you go. I hope you like that cute little, very simple card, but it does take a little more cardstock. I did forget to add my butterflies, and I wanted to use those. They are carrying over. I'm so happy because you just can't get enough. And I was looking for them the other night, and here I had them in this packet because I was using them for this card. And let's put, I want to be able to see this when it's folded shut. So we'll do a couple in there. Okay, so that is it for that card. Okay, the next card is this lovely lighthouse card. I just got this stamp set and it's being retired, I'm pretty sure. But I got this card from my teammate Jody Breckbill, and it's been on my counter and I've loved it, and I thought I need to show you this and do this for class. So we're copying her card, and this card is an 11 by 4 1/4 folded in half, scored at 5 1/2 and folded. And then I have a piece of white that's 4 by 5 1/4, and then a piece of balmy blue that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I have to think how that, so just 1/8 of an inch down for that. And then I have it embossed with the sort of the clouds embossing folder. I can't remember what that's called. So I have my pieces here. We're going to put that together really quickly. It's very fast and easy. So I do have some dimensionals here. Tried to get things done ahead so I don't hold you guys up. So don't mind those. This red piece is going to fit right on here. Sorry about that. There we go. Look at that. How cool is that? Fits right on there. Then this little black top just goes over top of, so we're just going to add a little adhesive here, and it just goes up here at the top. And then while that's gluing, I am going to put a couple more dimensionals here, which I couldn't put on ahead of time. So we'll add. So I have two big ones down here on the bottom, and then I'm having trouble getting those off today. That tip is not going to work. I've got both of my spatula tips in. Oh my goodness. I'm not good at this either. At least I can get them loosened up, right? Okay, there we go. Come on, guys. Cooperate. I'm trying to make this quick. Ugh, some days. Okay, oops, I can't put that on yet because I want to take a piece of crumb cake, and I just want to make a little sandy area for the lighthouse to stand on. So just going to be quick, simple, like pop that baby in place. You could stamp the, there's a stamp in there that you could use for that, which I just didn't grab it before I came in here, so I can't show you that. But anyways, you can see on here how it's added if you would like to put that on yours. And then stamp whatever greeting you want on here. This die also comes from the set, and I'm making this Ascending Healing Thoughts because I feel like I need a lot of cards for thinking of yous right now, and healing and get wells. So I love this saying, and it comes from Inspired Thoughts, which I think is staying. I think that's about the only one, excuse me, of my really favorite sayings that is staying. I'll put it here so you can see it. It just feels like it includes everything. So you've got Christmas, you've got healing, you've got sympathy, thank you, thinking of you on your special day. So, and this one is really cool. Sheltering you with love at a time when words fall short. So even a nice inside greeting. Okay, I do want to stick, let me just stick that down a little bit. I do want to add a little bit of twine. I want to add linen thread, but for some reason, do I have any here? Yeah, there we go. We'll put a little bit of linen thread behind here. I'm just going to take and wrap it around my fingers, pinch it in the center, and tuck it in there. Whoops, that didn't stay down, did it? And voila, there we go. One last thing, it's never finished without some little bling, and we're going to use the rustic metallic dots and just throw a couple of those on here. Whoops, stay on there. On some little ones. Let's get the little ones up here. And I think that's good. Okay. So I want to move this one. I sort of think it would look better there. There we go. All right. So that's that one. We have what do we have? One more to go? One more to go. Okay, our fourth and final card is this cute Nested Friends card. And I'm sorry, white shows up terrible, but hopefully you'll be able to see how I did this card. So I'm going to start, well, this is the set. I just wanted to show you. I believe this set is not in the catalog, but I think I read that it's carrying over online. So it will be available through, I don't know how long that goes, but anyways, it's not being retired. So I'm going to start out by putting my card, I have this set up, and I'm going to stamp my nest in black, memento. And then I'm going to show you how to partially die cut. Get the center of this real good. You sometimes have to really press down in the center there to get that inked good. All right, that looks pretty good. Let's see how that stamps. Hopefully I have that set in the center good. And maybe one more time. I just need to probably press a little harder there, but when I stamp, I need my I need to grab my air hockey thing so that we can press on that good. I probably need to get a little more dimension under here too. Let me grab one more piece of cardstock to pop under here. All right, let's do this again. There we go, good and dark. Okay, I'm going to flip this around. Let's go ahead while we're using the Stamparatus. And by the way, the Stamparatus has been discontinued. It is not available. I apologize. I will be using it though because it is the best way to do my classes. So I have my birds cut out, and then hopefully I have this set up good, and I can just, everybody can just put their bird in there and stamp it. I'm really, really sad that it's going away. All right, set that aside for a minute. Let's finish this. So I need to bring my Stamparatus in because we're going to use that to cut out part of the nest. And so I'm going to put it on my cutting plate. Let me think how I want to do this. I want to turn it this way. You always want to put what you want cut at the side that's going in, okay? Because then your plate, you'll place, I'll place the plate down through here and then be able to stop it where I want to, okay? So let's do this. I'm going to grab some washi tape here. I don't have any other tape in here, but I definitely don't want this to move while I'm doing this because it'll mess up my whole card. So we'll get this in place. Is that good? Okay. All right, now I'm just going to move my plate up about an inch or two, an inch and a half maybe. I do want my card to be nice and straight in here. I'm taking some time over this because I want to make sure that you understand how this is working. And I'm going to put my plate, I'm going to make sure that my plate is parallel to the bottom line. Okay, that's the most imperative because you want it to cut the same width the whole way. Okay, so there we go. Let's go ahead and shove this into it catches and wind that through. And then we can, oh, I'm so sorry. I just sent you guys flying. Sorry about that. Okay. And let's pull this off. Okay, so next I'm going to pull in my cutter and I'm going to cut. So you see how we cut just the bottom there. Now I want to cut in from each side. So I'm going to line this up on the edge and I'm going to sort of just eyeball where I think the edge of that is. Now I want to tell you a little trick here. I'm going to try to turn this so you can see it. So if you look at this cutter, you'll see a little line right there. Okay, I'm gonna put this down first. I just moved that. Okay, first I'm going to look at where that ends, and I'm going to come out here and I'm going to be like, okay, it ends at 1.5 and a little line. So I'm going to line that little line on my cutting blade at the 1 and what is it, 15 or 9/16 maybe, whatever. You guys don't, just say half and a line, okay? Because I know most of you guys hate to measure. All right, so there we go. It didn't quite make it, but that's okay. I had this nice straight line. Now I don't want to move that because I want that same line over here. So I'm going to look here and see where it ends up cutting right here. And I'm going to say, okay, that's a little before 4 inches. So I'm going to come in here to a little bit before 4 inches. And now I'm going to cut that. Okay, now all I need to do is grab some scissors. And if I didn't get in the whole way, boom, got that one loose. And that one's almost loose. It's right there. Okay, so now I have this cut piece. And I forgot to fold my card before I did this. So let's do that. I need this to be in half. So let's go ahead and put this in place. And I'll line this up so that my card is in half. So you should probably do that first. Okay. All right, there we go. Now I'm ready to color, but I think that I'm going to go ahead and put my pieces on here because, so instead of the scallop, which I did with the color and contour dies, and it's a rectangle, so I had to do it twice, I decided to use the border dies and do this. So I might need, depending on how short I cut this, I might need to take a little bit of this off. I decided to make it the whole width of the card, the whole height of the card, because it gave it a little more stability. So I'm just going to cut 1/4 inch or something so off of that, just so that I just have the edge of that showing, like so. All right, so let's go ahead and glue that in place. Okay, and then we have this beautiful piece of designer paper from, now I'm not going to think of what it's called. Cottage Rose, I believe. Abigail Rose is the paper or something like that. It's such pretty paper. And of course, all of our paper gets discontinued when we get a new catalog. So, you know, it's going out. Okay, so there we go. There's the basic front of our card. I'm going to go ahead and try to stamp this. Oh, you know what? I see there's a little bit of paper sticking out here, so I'm going to trim that off. Okay, let's go ahead and get this stamped. I think I might set that up on my Stamparatus too, and we can stamp that at the same time. That would make more sense than trying to do this after and hoping that you get it straight and not catch an edge or something. And I caught the edge. I'm having a terrible time with that today. All right, I'm going to try to erase that. But you know what? You guys know how to do that with the sand eraser, I will tell you. I got 2 different styles. This is the mono sand eraser. It's made by Tombow. But sand eraser is what you're looking for. If you need, and you live close to me, I have some for like $1.50. I got a whole box of them. Okay, let me grab some scrap paper here. And we're going to place the eggs. Now these eggs, it cuts 3 eggs out at a time. And I just want to add some speckles to them and some sponging. So I'm going to just grab my little sponge brush and just add a little bit of sponging on there. My sample that I made, I watercolored them, but I don't really want them wet because I want to stamp these little speckles that come in the set. And yeah, so I'm just going to try to get them all stamped at the same time. There we go. Let's do the bird. We are going to watercolor the bird, and I am using Petal Pink, and I'm using my water painter, which is here. And I'm just going to pick up a little ink. I don't want a lot. I'm going to start with a little and then just gradually add more if I want to. I see my brush is too dry and it's not spreading. Should have checked that first, Cindy. Okay. Now we got probably too much water coming out, right? I just want a little bit of this color on his belly and maybe a little on his head here. His, her, whichever you want it to be. I'm not into bird colors, so I apologize if this does not appear to be any bird that you're familiar with. And I did color mine in with some crumb cake, and I forgot to grab that color. So I did color my nest with a little bit of fresh freesia. I don't know. It just seems springy to me. So it's not going to add a ton of color because you know fresh freesia is really light, but it's almost like the bird has gotten some lavender or some of those really pretty purple weeds that are out right now into her nest. And so yeah, so we've got a little fresh freesia going there. Okay. All right, last but not least, we need a little bit of green. So I have Old Olive for the leaves. Oh, you know what? Before I get the green on there, I'll come back with a little more Petal Pink and just get these little berries right here. I want them pretty concentrated, so going straight into a little pile of ink on my pad. My pad lid, I mean. Okay, there we go. Now we can go to some Old Olive, and I'm just going to throw a little color on each of these leaves. I want this to be a quick project. I don't want you to feel stressed about coloring, so just throw some color on there. I could be like Bob Ross and happy little leaves. Just add a little color to the happy little leaves. Right? He makes it look so easy. All right, I want this to be easy for you. Let's go ahead and get the stem a little bit of green there. Don't you love how stamping makes you feel creative? Like, I could never paint like Bob Ross, but it's just fun to, the stamp is already, the design is there, and I don't have to think too much about it. Just throw a little color on. And we missed one leaf up here. Did I get the rest? Okay. All right, let's go ahead and put this together. And I'm going to just pop up the bird on her nest. Let's see if I can get two of these on here. Oops, it's a little wet yet. I got that way too wet and it made the black run because it's Memento ink. So I'm probably going to actually, give me a second. I have another bird right here. What am I doing? Why not? Why mess up a card, right? Well, it is already messed up, but I'm hoping I can erase that. I just need to get rid of some of this green here. Okay, come back in here. Swish the ink into my brush, because Memento is not made to be watercolor, so you don't want to get into the black too much. So I'm just going to touch there a little bit. You can also use your blends for this, which would probably work just as well or better. Okay. But I wanted it to be really quick and easy and not like Not like you had to think a lot. Let's see, are these going to stick? Actually, I'm going to turn them over, and then we'll just glue the other side. No use wasting good dimensionals, right? One side sticks. We just need the lifty-uppy part of it, right? That's what somebody called them, and I think that was so... everybody has different names. Risers is what Carmen calls them. So my Chambersburg class, that's what they call them. Risers. Okay. And then these little eggs, let's see if we can get them turned over here. Take your pick tool would be good for that idea. So it's going to add a dab of glue. Put this guy in place. Dab of glue. You know, you always think of your take your pick tool after you like struggled and struggled to get something on, and then it's like, oh, why didn't I grab that? I know who you are. A lot of you do that, right? Is this the right way? Okay, there's the beautiful eggs, and put the right lid on. And that is it, folks. I am going to attempt and hope that this erases a little bit for me at least. I waited till it dried because I didn't want to smear it. So this just sands off a layer of paper, and because our cardstock is colored the whole way through, of course this is white so it's not colored, but because it's colored the whole way through, you can even do this on our colored paper and still remove some ink smudges. So then that looks so much better. Still a little dab there, and I think I'm going to grab some pearls, and we'll add some pearls to this card, and that will just brighten up everything and finish off this cute card. All right, I hope that was enjoyable, and I hope you have fun with your cards. Again, you will get these cards in the mail with a $40 purchase. There is a host code that I forgot to put up here. Give me 2 seconds, and I will get the host code. I think that, yeah, there's the April host code. So a $40 order gets you the pack of 4 projects cut out for 4 cards. So, yeah, hopefully, and some of you have already ordered, so you will get this pack in the mail as soon as I get them all ready. But tonight I have class and this week, so it won't go out till at least the end of this week, maybe after tax day. So look for it at least towards the end of April. Okay, thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful day.